Now, this might seem rather obvious, but the point here is that professionals negotiate professionally. That means they learn how to negotiate properly. They become experts at compensation negotiation. You know, many of my clients will say, oh, I know how to do negotiation. I negotiate all day long. I've been in purchasing, I've been in operations. Or they say, oh, I've interviewed 1 million people. I can negotiate salary with people because I've interviewed lots of them and hired. No, neither of those is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you being on the hot seat, you being the one who is up for the job and negotiating for your own compensation. The other disciplines I just mentioned, whether you're negotiating for products or whether you're negotiating for services or whether you're hiring someone and negotiating their salary, that's all great, but that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. There's a very different mindset when you're negotiating your own compensation. So you're expected to know how to negotiate, and you're expected to negotiate. In fact, as I've often said, the interviewer will be disappointed if you don't try to negotiate. They're expecting you to negotiate. They want you to be a good and shrewd and smart negotiator. Because after all, if you're going to be hired by their company, once you're in the company, they want you to negotiate very strongly on their behalf to buy products and services or hire people. So if you don't demonstrate your negotiation skills, they'll actually be disappointed and they will question whether they're making the right choice in hiring you. So the negotiation skills will also establish your credibility. They will demonstrate the essential business skills that I just mentioned. They will convey your professionalism, assuming that you do this professionally, and it will set the right precedent. They will know that you're a top, shrewd business person. So you must negotiate. It also amazes me, folks, when someone says to me, well, I don't really like to negotiate my compensation. You know, it's a big pain, and so I get another 10%. Big deal. No, that is just a very weak argument. You must negotiate, get everything you can, and become a master of this negotiation process. Now, there are some misconceptions. These are self-limiting fears that hold people back and that keep them from negotiating effectively. They have these conceptions, these ideas, which are negative ideas, which will limit your success and will really, really hold you back. Here are some of these self-limiting fears. You may fear that if you negotiate hard, you will seem to be too pushy or too demanding. Or you may seem ungrateful. After all, it's a tough job market. You should be happy just to get any kind of offer. So you might seem ungrateful for the job offer. You might be identified as a high-maintenance prima donna, not really a team player. This might make future raises or promotions more difficult if you negotiate hard at the beginning. Or you'll start off the work relationship with your supervisor or the company owner on a bad note. Or you'll have a fear of losing the offer and you might not get another chance. In other words, if you negotiate too hard, you might seem desperate or you might go too far and they might pull the offer. Now, these are all self-limiting fears which are not true. They should be really dispelled, taken right out of your brain and put on the side, because if you believe any of these things, it will tend to hold you back in a serious way, and we cannot afford that.